Hey guys, Karen9 here, welcome back to my channel today, and in this video what we're going to be doing is looking at the 8 brand new weapons brought into the game by Iron Banner. I decided to go ahead and use all 8 of these weapons fairly extensively in the Crucible to see how they all stack up against each other. So in this video what we're going to be doing, we're going to be ranking these from 8 to 1, from worst to best, so you guys know which of these weapons you need to strive to get and which you should add to your regular loadouts. Now, I would like to just add the disclaimer very quickly that most of this testing was done within the Crucible. I feel personally that a fair bit of what is useful in PvE revolves around heavy DPS and that sort of thing, and none of these weapons really seem to shine in that sort of fashion. However, if you do want to just take them into PvE to use a random weapon, they would all do fairly well, I feel. So most of this testing was done within the Crucible, just so you guys know going ahead. So let's go ahead and start with the absolute worst Iron Banner weapon, and that is going to be the Days Fury Grenade Launcher. Now this is a precision frame archetype grenade launcher, and there's really nothing to say about it. It just sucks. Personally, I think a huge part of this is that it is a grenade launcher in a fusion rifle, sword, and shotgun meta, and that's really it. I don't use any grenade launchers. I don't really know anyone who extensively uses grenade launchers. This one features the perks spike grenades and snapshot sights, so there isn't anything very special about this one to set it apart from other grenade launchers. So essentially just don't use this weapon. It's not very good. If you get it in your collector, store it in the vault. It might be useful one day if the meta shifts, but for right now, it's just not very good. So now we can go ahead on to the 7th weapon, and that is going to be the Guiding Sight Scout Rifle. Now this is a high impact frame archetype, which means it will shoot very slowly. Now this one comes with armor piercing rounds and pulse monitor for the perks, and once again, this weapon just is not that good. I believe it is the slowest fire rate of all scout rifles, or it's in that category, and it's still a 4-shot kill. So that means the Mida can shoot faster, has better perks, and can still kill in the same number of shots. So I would definitely not recommend pretty much any scout rifles in this archetype. I'm personally a fan of scout rifles that have a higher fire rate, something like the Raid Scout Rifle or the Mida Multi-Tool, so I would definitely urge you guys to go with those over the Guiding Sight, because once again, it shoots too slowly and the time to kill is pretty abysmal, to be completely honest, and the perks aren't anything that make it that much better. So now we can go ahead on to the 6th weapon, and this is actually where they start to get pretty good. From this point onward, most of the weapons are pretty decent. So for this one, we're going to be talking about the Fool's Remedy Sidearm. Now this is a Suro sidearm, so it's going to be fully automatic, and then it also comes with accurized rounds and the moving target perk. Now personally, I don't like Suro sidearms, but this gun is definitely an outlier. I will say that out of all Suro sidearms in the game, and I believe I've used all of them, this is the only one I can stand using. The perks are very good. You kind of have to learn how to aim with it. As my friend jokes around and says, you almost have to aim with the handle. Now it has a fairly good time to kill. The range is pretty good. It's pretty easy to keep it on your target. The only problem is there's not really a reason to use this versus the Last Hope. The Last Hope is much easier to use in my opinion. It has the fastest time to kill out of any archetype in the game, and that alone really takes the shine away from the Fool's Remedy. It's not that the Fool's Remedy is not a good gun, it's just that the Last Hope is honestly much better and easier to use. So if you do want a sidearm in your energy slot, I would definitely go with the Last Hope over the Fool's Remedy. However, the Fool's Remedy is still a fairly good weapon. Now moving on to the 5th weapon for this video, we're going to be talking about the Forward Path Auto Rifle. This is an adaptive frame auto rifle archetype, which means it will be more on the faster shooting, lower range side. Now it also comes with armor piercing rounds and tap the trigger, so you will have that initial burst of accuracy whenever you start to fire it. Now like I said, this does have a higher fire rate, so naturally it is more designed for closer ranges, and I feel like this actually limits this weapon very hard. It has a decent time to kill up close. It's very easy to use. You can keep it on your target pretty well, but the damage falls off very quickly. It's very noticeable. In fact, whenever you get into the far to mid range, you can really feel this weapon start to drop off and not be as effective. So in the right hands, if you are a very rushing playstyle, if you do it very well, you're using something like Voidwalker and Blink, this weapon is probably going to be very good for you. However, if you like to play at the more long ranges, I would definitely not recommend this, and I would recommend something more like the Uriel's Gift or any other auto rifle like the Prosecutor that will do better at a little bit further of a range. Now we have reached the fourth weapon for this list, and that is going to be the steady hand cannon. Now this does have the aggressive frame archetype, which means it will be very slow shooting, which normally would be a bad thing, but this weapon is amazing. It comes with the flared magwell and outlaw perks, which help not only give this weapon more range, but also makes it super easy to bounce between multiple targets. And honestly, having a hand cannon with outlaw is almost necessary whenever the reload is as slow as it is on this weapon originally. And I believe that this hand cannon has the highest range out of any other hand cannon in the game, and that definitely shows as a huge perk for it. Now, like I said, I generally like faster fire rate weapons, things that will get my enemy killed a little bit quicker, but the damage fall off is almost non-existent with this gun. You can actually get 4-shot kills pretty effectively in a huge variety of situations and ranges with this sidearm, and honestly, I really enjoyed my time with the steady hand yesterday. It's probably my favorite hand cannon in the game, which I know a lot of people like the Better Devils. If you like that hand cannon, try this out and see if you like the more long-range game. This thing honestly hits very, very hard, like I said, from pretty much all over the map, and the added outlaw only makes this gun better in my eyes. So I would definitely recommend using this, trying it out if you get a chance. But honestly, if you manage to get this thing from Lord Saladin, I would definitely recommend trying it out quite a bit because it is a lot of fun and it feels very, very effective. So now we're going to go ahead onto the top 3 weapons. So for the third one, we're going to be talking about the Hero's Burden submachine gun. Now this is a very, very fast firing submachine gun. It comes with high caliber rounds and threat detector. Now, I love this weapon. I'm a pretty big fan of submachine guns in this game, and I think this is definitely among the top tier of submachine guns. It has a couple of downfalls, but for the most part, it is very good. Like I said before, it has an insane fire rate and an equally quick time to kill, and in addition to both of these things, it functions really well at an extended range. Now, the only downfall is that it only has 33 bullets in the magazine, so this means if you are not being accurate, it shoots so fast that you may not actually have enough bullets to kill your target. However, that is pretty easy to counter just by being a better shot. You know, if you work on your accuracy with this thing, it might take a couple of games, but it is super effective. The high caliber rounds make it so your enemies can't really react as well as they could if you did not have it, making them more of an easy target. And like I said, it fires really quickly and it is great at a range. So I would definitely recommend picking this thing up, especially if you're the type of player who really likes to stay mobile, you know, jumping around the air, dodging, hiding around corners and surprising enemies, that type of thing. I would definitely try out this submachine gun because it is extremely good. For the number 2 slot in this video, we're going to be talking about the Wizened Rebuke fusion rifle. Now, there isn't much to say here. It's a really good high-impact fusion rifle in what is essentially the fusion rifle power meta. To make it even better, it does come with liquid coils and the backup plan perk, meaning that you can essentially pull this thing out of your backpack at any time when you have ammo and get really quick one-hit kills, which means it is extremely good for shutting down supers and anyone who's just rushing at you in general. But like I said before, other than these things, there's not much to be said. It's a high-impact fusion rifle in a medium to high impact fusion rifle meta, making it really, really good. I would definitely recommend picking it up. It has some crazy ranges. See how well you guys do with it. And that's pretty much it for that one. So let's go ahead and move on to the top weapon from Iron Banner, in my opinion, and that is going to be the Time Worn Spire Pulse Rifle. Now, this is one of only 2 rapid fire archetypes for pulse rifles in the game, the other being the Lincoln Green, and the Time Worn Spire is better in every single aspect. It is 100% my favorite Iron Banner weapon and my favorite pulse rifle in the game, even beating out the Vigilance Wing. Like I said, it has an extremely high fire rate, but this does not stop it from being extremely accurate, doing crazy damage at ranges, and having a very, very good time to kill. Now, the one thing I will say about this weapon in terms of negatives is that it does have a slight kick to the right. However, that can be easily fixed by putting a kinetic recoil mod on one of your armor pieces. This tames it very well. You don't need to use both of them. If you just use one, it will make the kick completely vertical. And once you take care of that, you have an absolute monster of a gun. Now, it is very good in this meta. Things like the Mida multi-tool will still throw you off with the high caliber rounds, making it so you miss a couple of very crucial shots, but I'm telling you guys right now that if pulse rifles ever get buffed, if there's ever a meta shift, this could be a meta-defining weapon. It has a very good time to kill now, and if Bungie makes it slightly better or makes other guns slightly worse, this thing very well might be the king of the Crucible. So get this weapon, maybe play around with it and get used to it and hold on to it for later because it has great potential, and like I said, it is already very, very good. But yeah, those are all 8 Iron Banner weapons ranked worst to best. Let me know what you guys think about all of these weapons down in the comment section below and which one is your favorite. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like rating and to share it with your friends. If you were interested in watching either of the 2 videos on screen, you can click their respective annotations to be taken to them. If you are brand new to my channel, make sure to hit the giant version of my logo on screen to be subscribed to my awesome Destiny 2 videos and live streams. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and I will see you in my next video.